And hello everybody, welcome to the Great Fall. This is a parkour map that is supposedly like 40 levels of medium difficulty parkour, which I always like to see, because most of the time when it's easy, when the map creator says it's easy or hard, it usually doesn't end up being fairly accurate. So yeah, I'm gonna just skip through all the introduction stuff. It's probably just like, yeah, don't cheat, blah blah blah. Let's go! It's pretty typical that of stuff like this to go fairly in depth about don't cheat, blah blah blah. I mean, like, if it's your first parkour map, I could see that being useful, but for anybody that's played a decent chunk of parkour maps, it gets a bit old to hear the same thing every time from the map creators about, you know, oh, don't use creative, don't, you know, do stuff that is generally considered cheating. And it's like, okay, sounds good, question mark? I don't know, I'm always like, if the sort of people that are going to use that for the map anyway will probably use it regardless of whether or not you say don't cheat. Like, I remember back when I first started out, when I did occasionally cheat on maps. Yeah, I was a bad child. But yeah, back then, like, a map creator telling me don't use cheats would have done legitimately nothing. Because the main reason why I cheated on maps was because I wasn't very good at them. So I'd, you know, reach towards the end of the map and then, oh, this is the wrong way. And then wouldn't be able to beat it, so I'd cheat my way forward, so that way I can, you know, get past the level and play through the map. So, I mean, something saying, oh, that just says strictly fast. Something saying don't cheat won't really affect most people that are gonna cheat anyway. And maybe it has an effect on some people. Maybe, you know, kind of the guilt trip of, hey, don't cheat on my map, you know, is effective for some people. But, you know. Well, that's toxic. You're gonna just take away levitation. Woo! But yeah. I don't know. It's just one of my pet peeves with map creators. Is how strong they press it. Like, I don't mind if in the rules you say don't cheat. It's more of a matter of when collectible item. Ow. What about a collectible item? Confused. Anyway, well, this is a bit obnoxious. Is there any way for me to avoid falling to that? Ah, I tried to cut back in time. But yeah, it's more of a matter of when they shove it down your throats, like when you start the map and there's like 8 things telling you, don't cheat, don't use commands, and it's like, yeah, I know how that works. I also wonder if some people that maybe don't play maps much don't realize that, so as a result the map creators say it a lot so that, you know, anybody playing for the first time doesn't use them, but it does seem a bit weird. Dream mask. No. No. Oh. Why is this here? I'm suing. Anyway. That did not exactly go as planned. There we go. I overjumped it. Sadness. I will say, for the difficulty level of this parkour, I sure am failing a lot. I feel like that's kind of a trend, though, with how I play parkour. Like, I play up to difficult maps, and I play down to easier maps. Like, if it's a map that I should be doing pretty well on, I start struggling. Oh, I have to reset. If it's a map that I should be struggling with, I do pretty well on it, I find. And I mean, that's not a total, you know, like, oh, that's how it goes every time. But I find that a lot of times that's how it ends up going generally. So, like, it doesn't really surprise me that I'm doing worse on this map than I should be. I will say the map is pretty good looking. The waterfall, I don't know. The stuff sticking out of the edge of the waterfall does make it look a bit weird. I don't know why I jumped there. I've been jumping to all the wrong spots. But yeah. I don't know. I don't really care for the aesthetic of the stuff sticking out in the middle of the waterfall. But I don't know. Besides that, it looks nice. What? I don't know what I was doing there. My parkour is making me cringe. Why am I doing so bad? Okay, let's do this properly this time. Come around here, over to here. Then I presume the point of this is we're coming around to up here, and I just jumped off because, you know, why not? Why not? There we go. And then we go from here. Nice, nice. Looking good. And this is the sort of parkour I like a lot, where you kind of go up, over, and under all of the areas that you've previously gone through. Like, it does a really good job of making use of, you know, the space it has while also looking really nice. I've kind of raved about how much I like that style a lot, though, so I'm gonna just kind of leave it at that. It's just a good style of map. I kind of like how the slime glows when I stinking messed that up. But I kind of like how the slime glows when you are supposed to jump on it. That way you don't get lost and jump to the wrong spot or whatever with the slime blocks. At the same time, it does feel a little handholdy to have it. Like, I get that you can't have it both ways, but I don't know. I'm a little conflicted on it, because on one hand I really like it, just from the standpoint of it's kind of cool, and somebody that isn't used to picking out which slime jump to take will find it a lot easier with that. On the other hand, I find I don't like just how handholdy it feels. So I'm a bit conflicted on that. Like, the annoying thing about stuff like that is, you know, normally I don't really have strong feelings on either side, but in this case I do have strong feelings on both sides. Like, on one hand, I really dislike when parkour maps are exceptionally handholdy, because I feel like it kind of, you know, like, it's nice for your first couple parkour maps, but once you're further in parkour, it's kind of annoying. But at the same time, I like the ideas kind of behind the glowing slime, and I also really like how it looks when it glows as you're jumping at it. That took me off guard. So, I don't know. I think you could really go either way with it. Oh, here we go. But yeah, my only concern with stuff like that is I feel like if I had a lot of maps like that when I was first playing, I would struggle a lot more with knowing where to go and what jumps are possible. Because you kind of start to learn to eyeball it and be able to just look at a jump. Whoa. Hello, and, okay, I'm going to give this 1 second and finish my thought. Like, you kind of learn to eyeball jumps and be like, oh, that's a possible jump. Oh, that's not a possible jump. Just from eyeballing it. And I see that. And I feel like if I had those sort of jumps when I first started out, I wouldn't be able to eyeball it. Okay, let's take a look here. Here are the blue bats from MCC Rising. Oh, there's nothing more to say. And there's the blue bats thing. Okay, cool. I think. Can I put this on my head? No. I guess I'll leave the dream mask on then. It's so trippy. So yeah. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back up here, and I'm gonna sprint this so that I can come out with a bit more speed. Yeah, there we go. And like, I find with a lot of stuff, with parkour and anything that I've worked hard on, I have that confliction. Like, on one hand, I always look at it and go, I would have loved to have had that when I first started out. On the other hand, I look at it and go, I don't think I'd be as good at what I do today if I had that starting out. So it's very mixed feelings about that sort of thing. Like, I know I talk about Siege a lot, but like it's kind of the same thing when I'm playing Siege. Like, there are some things that I look at and go, I would have loved to have had that when I started out. I would have loved to, when I first started, had somebody that was, you know, interested in teaching me the game well. But at the same time, I feel like I wouldn't have had the same drive for it if I hadn't started out with playing it just by playing with some friends that, you know, none of us really had any motivation to get much better at the game. We were just kind of playing for the sake of playing. And I feel like I wouldn't have had the same motivation to play if I didn't start out with that. So, you know, it's like, on one hand, I kind of wish I'd had the opportunity to start out from better condition. On the other hand, I worry that if I'd started out from better condition, I wouldn't have been able to reach the point I'm at today. So I feel like it's hard to look at that stuff from a unbiased mindset, because there is some degree of, well, hey, maybe if I had, you know, had these sort of conditions when I first started, I would have, you know, improved faster and stuff like that. But then there's also a large degree of, would I have even been willing to play it as much as I have if I had started under better conditions? I don't know. I take it I'm not supposed to head up here first things first? I don't know. I'm really confused on where I'm supposed to be going. Especially with the upstairs just being completely blocked off. I'm gonna look behind the... let's see here. No path up here. Where in the... Can I make that? No. I'm so lost. What? Where in the world am I supposed to be going? I'm so confused. One sec, guys. Okay, I figured it out. We have to go back here. We were supposed to go up here and go up and around instead of just straight into the house. Which, my bad. I probably should have just presumed that you can never take the easier route. I was just kind of like, oh, I can just walk down the path for a bit. That would be nice. Nah, you gotta take the hardest looking direction at every possible turn. Safe water. That's suspicious. Safe water isn't real. Oh. Okay, nice. Yeah. Another thing I don't know how I feel about is water that kills you and stuff like this. On one hand, like, an area like this would be a nightmare if the water didn't instant kill you and you had to go all the way back if you fell. On the other hand... What? Stage 8, what? I went... Wait. About the whole no cheating thing. Does it count if I idiotically stepped on something like that? What's up, guys? Alright, guys, we're coming up on being back to where we were at before. This is the level we were at. And yeah, since I'd cut, I'm gonna just explain. These guys did something else that I absolutely hate when map creators do. They have stuff put in place that if you try to switch your game mode, it immediately sets you back to adventure mode. And I hate when map creators do this for multiple reasons. And some of them are stuff that you can make the case that, you know, okay, that it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, for example, oh, wrong way. One reason why I hate it is for stuff like what happened there, where I ended up back in the previous section, and I could have just, in theory, switched to creative, brought myself back, and would have been fine. But then instead I have to walk all the way back because they have the game mode switch prevention off. And I'm not super up in arms over that one. Like, that's kind of an alright. That significantly annoys me, but I'm not going to overly get up in arms about it, because I do kind of understand as a map creator, if you're like, it was still your fault, even if the map kind of did make it look like that was what you're supposed to go. Like, for example, there was a staircase, or not a staircase, but a path leading up to there, and it's kind of like, you made it look like that was the intended way to go. But I understand if you still go, alright, that was more the player's fault. You know, I don't think as a map creator we need to do anything about it. I understand that. Okay. Oh, I love that view. But then the other thing is, what about when maps are legitimately broken? Like, I played one parkour map once that didn't have the first jump properly installed. Like, I don't know what happened, but the first jump was broken. So you had to cheat your way past it. But they had the whole ordeal in where it automatically switches you back. So the only way that I was able to get over it and actually play the map, and this was before I actually recorded parkour maps, was I had to really quickly switch to creative mode while I was about to fly, immediately jump up and fly to just barely get over a fence so that I could go forward and play the map. And it's stuff like that that's like, alright, I get why you don't like people cheating. But it's not that, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to you. And I do feel a little bad complaining this much, because this is a great map. I'm actually really liking this map. I'm a little annoyed by that setback, but it's not enough that, like, I don't like the map over it. But, like, it's such a, just, I don't know. It drives me insane when map creators do it. And it's not as big of a deal in maps like this that are better made and don't include as many, as many bugs and stuff like that. But the other thing about it is, like, there are $1 million corporations that put out games, and then within 5 minutes of the game being out, there's game-breaking bugs that are completely ruining people's experiences. So on one hand, yeah, you know, alright, you know what you're doing compared to some other map creators. On the other hand, it's like, come on, just, nobody's infallible. Some people are going to cheat on your map. Some people aren't going to play your map legit. Some people are going to, you know, go through and cheat through your map because they don't want to actually play through it. You don't have to make it so that people getting stuck will then be unable to play through your map because of it. And maybe I'm wrong about the mindset of why they do it, but I don't know what other reason you could have, really, besides wanting to prevent cheating. And maybe there's something I'm not thinking of. Like, there could very well be a... Right, water kills you. A very good reason behind it that makes a lot of sense, and if you explained it to me, I'd be fully on board. But as it stands, I don't know, I think it's kind of stupid. I would be interested to hear a map creator's justification for this. But if it's just preventing cheating, then that's kind of stupid. Like, I would understand it for a map creator like the Blue Man, who has speedrun stuff set up into his map, but doesn't have anything to confirm that it's legit. Like, for example, he like maps does it through speedrun, so as a result, or speedrun.net. So as a result, you know, there's moderators that go through and check the runs and confirm them. Whereas the Blue Man has it set up in a way where you just get a link after you finished your run, and then you can upload. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's possible to cheat your way through that and get a record that you don't deserve because you altered the map or whatever in creative mode. So for a situation like that, I feel like having a game mode switcher block would make a ton of sense and would be perfectly justified. And the one thing I'll say is I don't know, you know, what the speedrunning community looks like around this guy's map, so maybe he does have one that I'm just unaware of because, you know, it wasn't immediately obvious when I installed the map. So yeah, I mean, some degree of it is, I just don't know. But all other things equal, I feel like it doesn't make sense to put something in to prevent game mode switching. And maybe it's a byproduct of something else that is in the map or whatever. I don't know. But yeah. Once again, all other things equal, I think it's kind of dumb. But there could definitely be a reason for it, I don't realize. In other news, this map looks amazing. I know I said this, but like, besides the major complaints I have over that sort of stuff, I really like this map. Like, it's a bit confusing where to go sometimes, and like the one spot where there was jumps leading up to the previous area, I feel like I feel like that was kind of dumb that was there. But besides that, I mean, it's been fairly obvious where you're supposed to go, with just some minor exceptions. I just didn't jump. So yeah, good map so far. I really like how the waterfalls for this area look in comparison to previously. Like, with the stuff sticking out of the waterfalls, I feel like they didn't look as good, but this section has really nice looking waterfall. I was supposed to jump to the side. Oh, and I just jumped off. Well, oof. Nice. Yeah. And I will say, one thing to note is just because I complain a lot about something in a map doesn't mean I don't like the map. It just kind of means it's something that I kind of have my mind on, and is annoying me about... Oh, well, that was a mistake. The current map. But it doesn't necessarily mean I dislike the map for it. Okay, I just moved half the heart. Mate! Mate! No! I tried to land on the side of it to keep myself alive once I realized I'd bonked my head, but wasn't able to do it. Once again, I keep trying to jump to that location. I don't know what I'm doing, but like it looks, I keep trying to jump to there because it kind of looks like that's a direction you could go. Right. Just, oh. Okay. Where was I supposed to go again? Oh, up here. Whoopsie. Okay. Let's go up properly, and there we go. We actually made it that time. Back to the slime. Oh. That's a bit close for comfort. And falling there would really stink. Don't you think? Ah. I have to go through all this again. Sometimes with parkour, it's worse to go through something for a second, or sorry, more difficult to go through something for a second time than the first time. Obviously, a lot of times it's worse to go through a second time of something that you accomplished in the first time. But yeah, sometimes it's just more difficult, and I don't know if it's just because the first time I went through it, I fluked my way through it, or if it has to do with just mindset. Like before, I kind of had the mindset of, oh yeah, I got this, easy enough, no problem, no sweat, and then because I failed once, I kind of lost that mindset, or what? Also, this jump is giving me some serious problems. Wait, I'm probably supposed to jump onto here, not over to there first. That'd probably be an easier jump too. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I'm stupid. And maybe I'm wrong about this, and I'm stupid because I'm wrong about this, but who knows? We'll find out. I just gotta actually make it back around. Let's make this one first try. Yeah, there we go. Starting to get a feel for it. The thing about slime blocks is they also create some of the weirdest, like, speedrun skips. Like, that's one thing I've learned from watching a couple of He-like map speedruns, is sometimes those slime blocks make for some really nice but quite difficult skips. Like, I was learning the path to the speedrun for one of the maps, and one of them gave me serious trouble just to get done for the first time. I mean, lots of respect to some of those people that have speedran some of those maps. Oh, am I supposed to, like, keep it going through? Ow, ow. You get the feeling that, yeah, landing will kill me. So this is like a full-on elytra section. Ah, I was too high. But yeah. Like, speedrunning isn't an easy thing to do. It's something I kind of want to get into for multiple reasons. One is because it's pretty cool to speedrun. But the other is just kind of that it makes good content to be able to speedrun. So, like, you know, if I learn to speedrun, I can make speedrunning content, and that's like free views. Oh, I was so close. Hitting that lava stream got me. And maybe it's also partially just because I've been really enjoying watching some speedrunners lately for different games. So as a result, you know, I'm enjoying it more than I normally would. Or, that's not even what I mean. I'm more interested in it than I normally would be. But it's hard to say. Okay. Oh, this way. I was about to say, I'm not sure I want to jump into what looks like green fog, but actually has more to do with stained glass and stuff. But still, it looks like creepy green fog. I'm guessing that has to do with invisible blocks. Just guessing. I'm guessing that under the target blocks there's invisible blocks. Or not under, over. Or dispensers. Oh, you have to sprint that. You have to like move. Not gonna be easy. Let's take another look at how this runs. Looks like it's kind of random which ones will hit. Okay, nice. Minecart. Place minecart on rails. I saw that coming from a mile away. Alright, both buttons just work. Those always make me nervous when there's like two buttons lined up like that, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure they both do the same thing, but I don't want to get totally wrecked by the map. Ooh, almost didn't make that. We're getting pretty close to the end. I don't know how much longer it'll take. This stuff's always kind of random for stuff like that. Go back. Yeah. I love when maps do random stuff like that, where it's like, oh, go back, and then it's just a completely separate section that looks completely different, even though you just came from there. Okay. Bam, we're so close. 35 of 40. Yeah, I mean, besides that one hiccup early on, this map's been great. I am glad that it happened early on and in a fairly small distance of only like 6 levels or whatever. Because it only took me like 5 minutes or what to get back. Well, I think like 5 minutes. What? What in the actual world? Huh. That is trippy beyond all belief. But yeah, I think 5 minutes counting when I was trying to just create it back, and then when I had to actually go back. 36 of 40. We're almost through. I take it just right through here. We should be... Oh, we're not even to the top of the waterfall yet. I wonder if we're going to make it to the top of the waterfall, or if this is just kind of the last area and we're, you know, never going to actually reach the top. That would be kind of a disappointing end, where like you don't actually reach the top, you just kind of reach a higher plateau. I mean, it would still be a cool map regardless, but... Row to the other side of the river using the boat. Oh, I see where we're supposed to go. But yeah. It kind of looks like we'll make it up, though. It's just hard to tell. It's kind of an anticlimactic ending with maps like this if you don't actually reach the top by the end of the map. Aw. Okay. Also, I know this is a really random, off-topic thought, but I was thinking about what's the game called? Getting Over with Bennett Foddy. Yeah, that game. And what I've realized is the reason why I dislike the concept of the map so much has absolutely nothing to do with the difficulty of the map. It legit has 100, or not the map, the game. It legit has 100% to do with the reason why the map creator made the game. Like, it's kind of spiteful in the fact that, you know, he was making it because he felt like players had it too easy, and games in general were slacking in what they were supposed to be and stuff like that. At least that's kind of the vibe it gave off. And I've realized that that's really the only reason I dislike the map, because what I've kind of come to the realization of is the kind of game that he considers ideal, where theoretically it's possible to never get over your challenge unless you improve at the skills yourself. I've realized that that's the sort of stuff that I've been playing the most. Like stuff like parkour, for example, where it's like, you know, it kind of runs under the same concept of, if you, like, you could theoretically never get past where you're going just from the standpoint of the challenge doesn't get easier because you spent more time on it. The only way to get over it is to become better at it yourself. Which has a certain novelty to it. The idea of improving oneself to reach a new height. But at the same time, I feel like the novelty really wasn't there in getting over it, because the game wasn't made for the sake of getting a player to improve. Like, it's clear from the way he talked about it that it was more made from the standpoint of he wanted to make something that would make people frustrated. And, you know, it shows in the fact that it's a rage game, not a, you know, challenging, not considered a challenging game. It's considered a rage game because it's, you know, made with mechanics that feel really inconsistent and don't flow well. So as a result, a lot of people really hate the game for, you know, it seems to be fairly good reason. I don't know. It's a totally random off thought. And it's kind of funny. For as much as I hate the game, I sure do think about it a lot. Just because I guess the stuff about what a game was supposed to be, oh, you gotta be kidding me, really stood out to me when I was younger and saw the game for the first time. Like, just kind of that idea of, you know, what is a video game supposed to be? Is it supposed to be something? Oh, I jumped, for crying out loud. Is it supposed to be something that provides a distinct challenge, or, you know, is it okay to have a game where, you know, as long as you put in more time, you can guarantee that the next time you go through, you're going to win? Like a game like Pokemon, where it's like, you know, oh, you can't make it through with your current team? Well, you can easily train them up, and, you know, within an hour or so, you'll be pretty much 100% guaranteed to make it past. And to be completely honest, I still don't know if I've come to a complete conclusion on the matter, on how I feel about it. But yeah, I think that's why I think about the game so much. We did it, and we did get to the top. Yes. Grateful. Special thanks to MS Rooney and M Hassan JP. And major thanks to a bunch more people. There's an elytra in the center of the lake waiting for you. Planet Parkour. Oh, this is the guy that did Planet Parkour. Planet Islands. I'm gonna have to try that. Yeah, let's go to the center and pick up this elytra and fly over, kind of, for the end here. Hey, gave us rockets too. Let's go. Oh, I didn't even notice that the map was kind of crooked. Or I guess at an angle would be a better way of putting it. Like, well, I guess this comes over to the side a little bit, but not really. I guess because that pink tree is so large, it's a bit harder to realize that there's all this extra on the bottom part. And a little bit on the second level, too. Huh. It's really interesting. Yeah, this map was a ton of fun. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe and like. Really helps a long way. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. God bless. Bye bye.